Today is the day, everyone. The day that we hopefully finish Monifactory. So hello everybody and welcome to the next and maybe last episode of Monifactory. I'm really hoping so. I'm really hoping so. Last time we finally got infinite power, which is the first thing I want to set up today. I'm sick and tired of this thing. I went ahead and I hooked it up, the infinite power, to this guy here, but I'm gonna go ahead and change that again. I'm literally gonna rip out all of this. I now have infinite power. I no longer need to worry about any of it ever again, and we can pretty much just throw power at literally all of our problems now. Will that make the pack fun? Let's find out. Now, how much voltage can I have on each of these? I'm assuming infinite, or does it go maximum 64 or 32? Oh, I changed the amperage here, which I'm assuming can just be whatever. So I now have 1,000 amps of LV. I can go ahead and just attach a P2P to that. And I'm gonna do that for every single one of the voltage tiers. That's right, every single one. Oh, how I have been waiting for this day. Look at this. 1,000 amps of UHV? Sure, why not? Literally the best thing ever. And of course, we can also get UEV, UIV, and UXV. And I can just pretty much completely disconnect the substation. No longer really a need for this. I mean, I might just keep it for fun, but yeah, there's really no need for this anymore. I'm excited to use UIV power because this thing is going to be nuts. In fact, I don't even have a P2P for it. And obviously, I would like a UXV hatch. Not sure I'll ever use the UXV, but I mean, we'll see. Yeah, there's actually no even UXV energy hatch, so we probably don't even need this. But now that we have infinite power, the first order of business is going to be throwing power at literally everything, speeding up the base probably tenfold. Which involves, I would like to get the UIV. I don't know if there's a 16 amp UIV hatch. There might be. In fact, there is, and I would like to make this. But this needs Monium, which means we get to run, that's right, another tier 12 microminer mission. Now, I am not going to put Monium on passive. In fact, I'm going to make it a recipe, and I'm curious to see if I can actually even bake any Monium. Apparently, I need more matter processing units. I guess I'm probably gonna need a lot of those in the future, so I should probably just turn that buffer up. I don't know why I haven't done that. I think that one's right over here. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this to 1,000. Why not? So it does actually look like I can go ahead and craft a stack of Monium. This is going to use so much infinity metal, but like I said, now that we can pretty much throw power at all of our problems, and here pretty soon at the UIV level, I think it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Infinity metal is by far the biggest backlog, and I think it's going to be the biggest backlog for the rest of the series. But here pretty soon, we will be able to remedy some of that, like we'll be able to get the Serene Infinity Catalyst, which kind of makes Hearts of the Universe a little bit more efficient. And of course, activated netherite will be much easier to come across, and so will the ultimate material and everything else. Oh shoot, this should be inside of the microverse projector. We are getting our first stack of Monium. This is crazy, I cannot believe how far we've come in 9 months. 9 months, wow. We've been playing this for a hot minute. Let me tell you guys, I am ready to play Create instead of Greg Tech, though I definitely will be revisiting Greg Tech after Create. Just about, everyone. Our first pieces of Monium. Oh yeah. Look at that. Just see if I can't make a UIV 16 amp hatch. It looks like I can. Can I bulk craft 4 of these? It looks like I can. It only takes 8 pieces of Monium for this. I'm going to say it's a good investment, and I'm going to put this on a whole bunch of stuff. That does use a lot of infinity ingots, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Awesome, so I have my 16 amp UIV energy hatches. Now I am interested in one of these guys. I don't exactly know how they work. I know I need a source and a target. They're very, very expensive, but as you can see, it's 4,096 amps, which is preposterous. I could probably make a cheaper one that is, probably going to do the same exact thing like some UEV ones. In fact, I may do that, and we're definitely going to be doing that with some stuff in the future. But for right now, I just need to upgrade everything. For example, this guy is definitely being upgraded to UIV. All right, so this should be going like lightning fast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, lightning fast. The next thing to be upgraded is going to be this assembly line. And I have 2 more. What am I going to use them on? I don't exactly know yet. Probably actually the microverse projector up here is what I'm thinking. So you should be running at OPV now. Look at that. And I have 1 more for spare. which I actually think just for now, I'm going to put this on the ultimate material doohickey right here until I upgrade this even further. Which brings me to the next chapter of this video. I need better assembly machines. I need the super assemblers, the dimensional super assembler. I need one of those so bad. I may or may not make more than one. We will see, but I plan on, like I said, this thing needs to be giant. I am sick and tired of waiting for circuits, for waiting for ultimate material, all of that stuff, and it should help with putting things on passive as well. Now this thing is giant. Where am I going to put this, you might ask? Obviously it's going to go in the super basement, which, you know, funny enough, I didn't really use all that much. I definitely used up here, but I still really like this build, actually. I'm a big fan of it. Where am I going to put the super assembler though? Probably just on this side. It should fit down here. I should be able to move all of my auto crafting to this, which is going to be amazing. You know, actually, I am going to go ahead and just make 2 of these. One for auto crafting and one for passive. 2 of these should be pretty simple to make. I say that, how much infinity metal is this going to cost? A stack of infinity metal. I'm running out of this so fast. Alrighty, so the first dimensional supercomputer is almost done. The multi-block for this is quite expensive. I think the main problem is going to be the ELTs, but I mean, it should be whatever. I mean, 64 ELTs frames, that's pretty ridiculous. Do I even have enough ELTs? It looks like I do, actually. Also going to need bioalloy fusion casing, which this is a new one. So I need 64 of these, which needs a little bit more stuff, but it looks like I should be able to do 1 batch of these just right now. And I am definitely going to put a laser hatch on this guy. I'm thinking probably a UEV, like 250. I might as well just go all out, actually. Really? Now that I'm thinking about it, there's no reason not to go all out with this. I can afford the UEV stuff, so I might as well go ahead and just do the UEV laser hatches. So I should be able to make 1 of each of these. All right, so the laser hatches are done. The bioalloy is done. I want to get a crazy parallel hatch on this thing. Probably don't need more than 1024. We could go really overkill and get a 4096, but I'm not going to do that. We should be good with just one of these. This is literally just neutronium. You guys see how cheap this is? So 1026 giga parallel control hatch for this. And luckily I made a bunch of casings in advance, actually, except for the netherite ones, these stabilized and activated netherite stuff. I need a lot of these. I think 410, which needs a lot of activated netherite, but it'll be fine. Then I need a stack of omnic casings, these ones. So without further ado, let's make these giant assemblers. And I mean it when I say these guys are giant. I don't think I'm going to put them under here because I have these leaking under here, so they're definitely going to need to go like over here. Yeah, these are quite large. So I think I'm also going to try to make this ME pattern buffer. Not exactly sure how this works. It looks pretty interesting, so I am going to try it. Now, if this ME pattern buffer thing doesn't work, it should be fine. I'm not really that like super duper have to use it. I just kind of want to try it out. So let's see, can I just go ahead and build this? Oh yeah, sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the giga parallel hatch on this guy. I want this thing to be quite fast. And I also want to see if I can't figure out everything else here, including the pattern buffer thing. Power, pattern buffer, output bus. Looks like that did the trick. So I want to see exactly how this works. So the laser target I want there, or not the laser target, the laser source. Have it facing this way. I'm going to go ahead and just grab infinite power. No need to do a P2P. I'm assuming it just works like that, but I'm not quite sure how I get power to this guy. So I think I need the active transformer. This guy did some more researching. And I'm going to make, I think I'm going to try and make UIV 64 amp substation hatches, which is unfortunately going to need more ammonium, but that's fine. Unfortunately, I'm also starting to run out of infinity metal. I'm not quite sure what the holdup for this is. I think it's just the crafting of it. I really don't know why it's not going that fast. It looks like it has something to do with quantum stars, which I have a bunch of, so I'm not really too sure. So for whatever reason, the assembler recipe for this guy just does not work. I have no idea why. I have everything in here and it's just not crafting. don't really know why it has UIV power and everything, so you know, whatever. I guess it is what it is, but hopefully now everything should be working. Yes, we are going to go ahead and craft the UIV 64 amp substation energy hatch. It should be pretty nuts, the power that goes into this and how fast everything's going to be. Hoping that this should just form. Yes, it did go ahead and form. So if I go ahead and I put UIV 64 amp active, this should start filling up. Oh yeah, you're filling up, and the output should be going into here. Oh yeah, look at this. Now, I probably want the 256 stuff. This is probably the stuff that's actually gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. Like, I'm kind of curious as to how this would even work. Max +2. That's what we're working with here. I don't, I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's this, but that's uncraftable. There's the 4 amp max dynamo hatch. That needs a lot of ammonium though, so might just craft some of these guys because they're pretty cheap. But you know, hopefully there should be enough power. If I need to change the laser hatches, then I will. I kind of wish I could just plug something straight into the source hash, but I get why I can't. And so actually, I just realized I'm not gonna have this as the pattern guy. No. I'm gonna go ahead and have the stocking input bus system that we have on all of our other multi-blocks on this guy. So I should be able to have a whole bunch of recipes stored onto this guy, though I probably should be kind of careful about this and not have too many recipes on here. But I know for one, I'm gonna want ultimate material on this guy. So the same system that we've had set up for how long now is gonna be on this. I'm gonna go ahead and put ultimate material right down here, 10,000 at a time. And I want an oversized interface for this. So this should craft, I mean, ridiculously fast. Except I'm apparently out of wither bones. Definitely something I'm going to need to fix, but I'm going to do 256 of these at a time. And I'm probably going to want a threshold level emitter for pretty much all of these. So this should be going ham, making me my ultimate material. I just have to speed up wither bones, which is an interesting problem to have actually. And it's probably coming from up here, which I can now go ahead and upgrade these to as fast as I want. And see, now I'm out of pulsating prediction matrix. Everything is happening all at the same time. So it would also seem I'm running out of clay. That's the backlog, which is a very interesting backlog. So I'm gonna do a little cheekiness here and have a level emitter on our forge hammer and ore processing. Yeah, so one ticking dust, 512 at a time, I'm assuming should fix my problem. Oh yeah, definitely should fix my problem. But now I'm out of Ender Dragon scales. So yeah, a lot of speeding up has to be done. So next up, I'm really going to have to speed up my H&N stuff because now running out of pretty much everything, as you can see here. So I think it's a good time for a montage. We're going to make a whole bunch of simulation stuff, like a lot. I need to make a little area for them. And you know, I think this is a perfect time to use more space down in the mega basement. So you should be hearing music. Let's do some stuff. Let's get this montage going. So one montage later, I decided I didn't want to get too much done. I did do a little bit extra, so I have 10 supercomputers here ready for making all of our, ready to be making all of our pristines. Now, the one problem is I still don't have enough pulsating prediction matrix, and currently the problem is resonant ender, which I think I might be able to solve. I'm gonna hope that I can. This guy right here is nowhere near fast enough. So obviously we're just gonna do normal thing, throw some new stuff on it. Perhaps a 16 amp UEV hatch. You know, this is pretty much how we solve problems now, is we just throw one of these hatches on it and a lot of ender pearls. Oh yeah. I don't think Resident Ender is going to be a problem. Ender pearls might. It looks like they're keeping up though. So hopefully that means pulsating prediction matrix should start keeping up again. It looks like it might. I really hope this is just filling buffers. I think it will. Yeah, we're definitely keeping up with this now. I'm going to store a lot more. Not quite that much. Like 2.4 million should be plenty. Yes, so everything down here seems to be running perfectly fine now. Everything seems to be caught up. We're doing pretty good over here, actually. And I've gone ahead and I made another hyperbolic microverse projector. Now, there's a good reason for this. I want some parallels, specifically with the tier 8 microminer and also the one that gets me nether stars, this one. Because let me tell you guys, I'm running out of nether stars literally left and right. I've been out of nether stars for weeks now. Also, apparently out of activated netherite again. You know, I'm sick and tired of running out of that. You know, when in doubt, put a 16 amp UEV hatch on it. Much better. Now, obviously, still, is this fast enough? No. I may consider doing one of those laser hatches for the activated netherite. But something else I wanted to do was I want to show you guys this. I went ahead and I used the assembly line, this one, for ZPM motors, and my, was it the best choice I have ever made in my life. Now, the only problem with this is that these recipes tend to take up like a lot of item space. And as you can see, these kind of stayed in here, and it's kind of a problem because that's taking up the space in here. And if this clogs up, well, we have a problem. So we have to be really, really careful about this. Like, we have 6 spots left, and something I want to craft is going to take 8 spots. So I can no longer use this stocking input bus. So I'm going to have to cut it off and use a separate one. Something like just right down here. Is it annoying? Yeah, yeah, it is. Is there anything I can do about it? No, not really. It sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm probably just gonna have to stick to like 2 of these per stocking input bus. Because next up, I wanted to go ahead and put ZPM field generators on here and ZPM emitters now that I can do this. So I'm gonna set this to 100 of these, just like I did last time. The ZPM circuits, you know, I probably should be a little more careful about that actually. Set this to a stack instead. Oh, and this should start crafting. Oh yeah, so we should be getting our ZPM emitters now. Yes, we are crafting our ZPM emitters much faster. Look at that, that is crazy. And I should be able to do the same thing for the ZPM field generator. Gonna bulk craft these in 8 at a time. Yeah, this really is glorious. As I expected though, I'm probably gonna run out of stuff pretty fast doing this. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I do. There's also just a few more things that I actually have to like put faster on passive, like Naquata alloy frames is a really niche one. The tritium foil apparently as well as one I don't have very fast on passive. But as you can see, I am making stuff at a much faster rate. So I'm going to leave that for the time being now. I just want to go ahead and show that to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and craft a bunch of the tier 4.5 microminers. Perfect. 16 tier 4.5 microminers. And I'm only going to use 8 of these guys here. And I've also increased a lot of the stuff on this guy back here because I don't particularly want to use all of these UV field generators to make these perfect. It would probably save me a lot of trouble in the end. I just don't think it's particularly worth it. So for now, this will be fine. And as you can see, I have a stocking input bus back here. This should be pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited to see how this system works. Go ahead and get some oversized interfaces and we'll set up the recipes. So this should be on. Let's go ahead and see if this is going to run the 16 parallel. I hope it does. Oh shoot. I think it totally just worked. Yes, it did. Look at that. Holy moly, that's a lot of nether stars. So that we should see gone upstairs back over here. All right, so hopefully I fixed all of the bottleneck problems with that. You should be running again. This time it's only doing 5 at a time. I hope that this somehow manages to fix itself, but I guess, I mean, it's running parallels. Do I like that it's doing that? No, not that it's doing the 16 at a time. Kind of needed to do the 16 at a time, but I guess it is what it is. It's not terrible. It's not the best. But next up, I would like to do this mission here for Warden Hearts. Though, do I really need to do that? I don't know. I'm probably going to keep this one in the backlogs just in case. So I'll keep these. It looks like we don't actually have to do it. Our ultimate material stock seems to be doing just fine. Whew. Let me tell you guys. So I'm hoping now I should be able to make the rest of these without too much problem. Yeah, for sure. Because before crafting these was a whole problem with the ZPM stuff, and I'm finally happy I no longer have to do any of that. Thanks to this guy right over here. And now I should be able to finish this guy, this dimensional superassembler, which means my auto crafting recipes are going to get so much faster. So I'm going to go ahead and take this transformer right here and just copy paste it. Going to need another one of these, which I don't think I can afford. No, I cannot. I'm assuming because I need more ammonium. So for now, I'm just going to opt for the 16 amp UIV. You know what? No. Hold on. Let's go ahead. At least get one of these going. Maybe a few. 4 of these should equal the same amount as one of the UIV ones, which is probably what I should have used on the other one, but it is what it is. Connect the lasers up like so, and I want to see if I can't hook up the ME pattern buffer here. Get the power on here. You should be gaining power via the lasers. The rest of these on here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. So this should all be going. If I mess up with it now, it'll explode, but that's okay. But now what I'm hoping to do is go to the assembly line recipes and just like do this. Just do that and put them all into here. Now, I kind of hope I could put more than one of these onto the machine because as you can see, I have more recipes than this can hold. Looks like the answer is yes. So now let's say I wanted to craft. What's something like one of these? If I had activated netherite. Okay, instead, let's say I wanted to craft some UHV energy hatches. 10 of them. We should see that go through here instead of where it was going before. I mean, and this should craft pretty much instantly when it gets into here. Yeah, that pretty much crafted instantly. Nice. Okay, so the assembly lines are no longer the bottleneck at all. Currently, the bottleneck, once again, is activated netherite. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, I'm so excited about that, actually. So something else that I consistently have problems with is actually stellar creation data. So I'm going to go ahead and set up one of these nifty little recipes back here with the 16 tier 4 X microminer. So I'm hoping this will work. We'll see if the dent hydrogen will keep up. It may not. It looks like it possibly will. Yeah, it's really not doing that many at a time, unfortunately. But it is really fast, which is what matters. Yes, there we go. So now I'm hoping that'll keep stellar creation data up because we're running out of universe creation data, which also means we're running out of hearts of the universe, which I kind of need at this stage. But we're getting really close to being able to make our next pieces of monium. We just need universe creation data. Still a lot of bottlenecks to fix. I'm assuming that's what most of today is going to end up being, and we'll probably end up finishing up the pack next time. But one thing that will actually save me on Hearts of the Universes is if I make the Serene Infinity Catalyst. Hoping I have enough modium for this. So it looks like, yes, I am able to make this as soon as I get some Hearts of the Universe. Let me tell you, I thought this was going good, the Hearts of the Universe, and now it's not, and it's really starting to cause problems, but I'm hoping, yeah, a big batch is coming in here soon. And you know, I think I might move some recipes over, like this one, into this guy right here. Just speed this up a little bit because I'm kind of tired of waiting for that. And that means this should craft almost instantly. Oh yeah, that was much faster. Yeah, so once I run through all of these, I have to find a system to where I don't use my last Hearts of the Universes so I can at least run this mission. But I'm about to be able to run this again. I should get a bunch more Hearts of the Universe, and I should be able to get the Serene Infinity Catalyst, thus making it a little bit better and a little bit easier to go ahead and just to get more Hearts of the Universes and more Infinity Metal. All right, so I started the craft. Let's see if it works. I think it should. I don't know why it wouldn't. We have the monium for it, luckily. So, oh yeah, we're making our Serene Infinity Catalyst, and then we can just replace that. So this is going to replace the recipe that was in here with the Furious Infinity Catalyst. The inert one's going to go in here, and also a Heart of the Universe. And then down here, the Infinity Metal is also going to change to a Serene Infinity Catalyst. And this should be 16 at a time. So after a good amount of investigating and a bit of AFKing, I have decided our last course of action before we make the sprint for the creative chest is a few more automations. That being, I am in dire need of a Skulk biocharger. I'm constantly running out of Skulk cores. I need a fixed Einsteinium really bad, so I'm probably going to add this into the automated microverse projector down here. I believe I fixed hydrogen. I need a bunch of data modules. This is something I also somehow ran out of. So just 3 more things. It shouldn't be too bad. Let's start with the easiest one, the data module. I'm actually able to make the sterile cleaning maintenance hatch, which I did already make one. I just need a circuit assembler. Just gonna build this guy right over here. Write the recipe for the data module. Connect this guy up, and this guy should just be straight up running. Yes, this is 100% working now. I do need to, however, make sure I don't use too much. So I'm definitely going to be level limiting this. And this should do the trick, so every time I'm below 100 data modules, which may not ever happen again, seeing as I now have 709, I think we'll be good on this. So again, upon further inspection, I'm probably going to have to end up fixing this next episode, but I'm going to hold off on doing these because they're fine for now, and I'm running out of time. So it'll have to be something that happens next episode. But anyways, unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today. So if you guys did enjoy today's episode of Monifactory, please hit the like button down below if you want to see more of me and the last episode of Monifactory, probably next episode. Hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Monifactory. Later!